Hello everyone, thanks for coming to my presentation for SC315. Today I'll be talking with you about real estate and real estate investing and why I feel like it's the most superior form of investing. Now, most of us in life don't get a lot of experience or education about money and finance. And most of what we know comes from our parents and trial and error. And they teach us and they give us these ideas, and we think that the best way for us to retire and get prepared for retirement is by saving money up, by investing it, by getting a good job, and by praying to God that we have enough money when we retire. Here's a few statistics for you, and these statistics are about people that are about to retire. According to a survey by Vanguard Investments, 51% of employees have less than $50,000 in their savings account. Now, 39% of people 55 and up have less than $25,000. Now, that's not even enough to survive 1 year, let alone retirement. Also, 1 in 5 people ages 55 to 65 have less than $5,000 in their savings account. 20% of people has less than $5,000 in their savings account. Another statistic, according to Employee Benefit Research Institution, over 70% of Generation Y, that's people 18 to 25, have less than $1,000 in their 401k, if they have 401ks at all. And 50% of homes in America are substantially lagging retirement savings. This is a huge problem. This is a huge problem because in America, we can't rely on the government. Social Security is going bankrupt, and every day we hear about when they predict it'll go bankrupt. The government, $1.25 trillion deficit this year. How are they going to bail us out when we need retirement? We don't even know where they're going to be going in a couple years. A long time ago, companies used to offer pension plans for their employees. What we've seen is more and more companies are getting rid of their pension plans because it costs too much money. They're offering 401ks and things like that, but can you really depend on a 401k account for your retirement? Last year, or during this recession, the value of 401k accounts has dropped $1 trillion. My mom is a great example of this. She had over $100,000 in her 401k account, and it has dropped to less than $70,000 in a year. Can we really depend on that for our retirement? I mean, we have no idea where we'll be in 30 years, especially someone my age. Now, I got a few so what can we do? What can we do to prepare for our future? Well, options 1, we could steal money. We could become a thief and steal money. We could try gambling and win the lottery. We could wait for Mr. or Mrs. Right and hope they have money and marry in some money. Or we could inherit money. Wait until great Uncle Rich dies and we get rich. Those options aren't very practical though, and most of us will never have that opportunity. So let's look at some practical options. Like I already said, we could save and invest in 401k accounts, IRAs, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, but I'm going to show you in my speech why I believe real estate investing is much better form of investing than that investing. Let me ask you some questions though. What if it was possible to not ever work again? What if it was possible you never had any financial obligations? What would you do with your time? I know what I would do. I would buy a boat. I would travel the world. I would go to Europe. I would spend all my time with my wife and family. And this is possible. Through real estate investing, I will show you how it is a better investment and how it can actually make you financially free. Now, I'm going to give you some reasons of why I think real estate investing is a better form of investing. Reason 1, the most important thing, that why real estate investing is a better form of investment over stocks and bonds is leverage, other people's money. When you're going to buy a house, you don't have to put up front the full amount of that purchase price of the house. Now, with a stock or bond, you do. There's a big difference because, as I go into my next point here, you can beat the average returns very easily in the real estate market. Now let's put an example to this. Let's say I want to buy a house for $100,000. I will only need $10,000 to buy that house. Now over here on the stock market side, I want to buy a house, or I want to buy stocks, and you need all $10,000 to buy only $10,000 in stock. Now most investors will say, no, real estate's a bad form of investing because the stock market averages 10% return and a house averages 5% return over the last 20 years. That's true. But let's look at how much money we put into a real estate investment and how much money we put into a stock investment. A real estate investment, we put $10,000 in to purchase a $100,000 house. Now, if we only got 5% return on that house, we would make $5,000 in our first year. That is a 50% return on investment, not 5%. If we come over here to the stock market side and we got a 10%, let's say we got a 20% return on our stock, that only translates to $2,000 because we had to upfront that whole $10,000. Other people's money. That is the most important thing about real estate investing. Number two is it's very easy to beat the odds in real estate. You can go into an area like Phoenix and you can easily talk to some real estate agents and pick out what areas are having the best returns. It's not difficult. The real estate market does not move as quick as the stock market. Come over here, you have 30,000 stocks to pick from. How are you going to pick the one that gives you the 10% return? You might pick one and it drops 20% that first year. I mean, and also you don't have control over your stocks. As a house, you do have control over a house. You can pick where it's located and you can do things to your house to increase its value. You can't do that with a stock. You can't go talk to the manager of the company and say, hey, can you make my stock better? You can't do that. And that's why I think you have more control, and I think real estate investing is much more better than stock. Another example is, or another good reason why, is the tax laws and depreciation for real estate. Over here on the stock market side, let's say you invested $10,000 and you made $2,000. That year you'll have to pay a capital gains tax of 20% on that $2,000. It might be higher depending on your income. Over here on the real estate side, let's say your house went up $5,000 in value and you wanted that $5,000 in cash, you could refinance your home and there's no tax on that. There's no tax on that $5,000. Another thing is depreciation. You can claim tax laws and depreciation on your rental houses and they will depreciate in value even though the value is actually going up. Every year, and it's really easy to pick where the real estate's going up. Lastly, other people's time. When you're over here on the stock side, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment to make sure your stocks are, where they're going. And over here on the other side, you just got to buy a house, you can hire a property manager, and all you're doing is collecting money. It's not very hard. Now, how do you get involved in real estate investing? The first thing you want to do is get your finances in order. You want to make sure that you're debt-free and you're ready to start building a business because you will be building your own business. Now, I brought some books with me. And these books, you want to start educating yourself on how to become a real estate investor. This book right here is Real Estate Riches by Dolph DeRose. He's a self-made millionaire, never held a job in his life. And he writes a book about why real estate's a good investment and why it's easy. It's not difficult. And this is my man right here, Robert Kiyosaki. He's definitely the forefather of real estate investing in America, the New Age investing. And this book right here I bought this book. It's almost like a textbook. It's like how to invest in real estate. And another book I really like is this one right here. This is The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. And this book's exactly the same as that one. Has a little bit more information in it. And it'll show you exactly what you need to do to start investing in real estate. Now, real estate has a lot of potential. You can keep expanding and expanding your real estate investments. And eventually you'll create so much passive income that you won't even need to work. And all your obligations will be free, and you can do whatever you want in life, and you will be financially secure for your retirement. Now, I hope in my presentation today I've shown you why real estate is a good form of investing. And I could talk about this subject for a lot longer, but I just want you to know, go out there and look at it. Educate yourself. And thanks for listening. Okay, here's my audience for my speech. Got Dawn, Heidi, and my mom. And I guess Jackson's there too. There's my audience. Thanks.